morning. IWLearn is a project of of the UN. It's a joint project in between UNDP, UNEP, and in former phases the World Bank was involved too. So it actually started in 1997. So it's all about information sharing in between the global environment facilities, international water projects. International water projects are projects that deal with transboundary waters, so water bodies shared between different countries. Like the River Nile has about five or six stakeholders, and all those stakeholder countries have to be brought together to improve the quality of the water body and to manage the water body, that water body sustainably, that all the upstream and downstream countries really can use it. It's all about online data sharing. The unit part of the project is a technical part, so we are doing the website. We are doing website hostings for the individual projects on the ground. And the UNDP part is more on the substantial learning and information exchange part. They do workshops about, say, evaluations of ecosystems. How much is an ecosystem worth? Twinning between different projects. So, Lake Victoria, Lake Tanganyika projects share a lot of similarities in the problems that they also have in North America, Canada, in the Great Lakes area. So they are organizing two exchanges in between those water bodies to share information and best practices, lessons learned. We are spread around the globe. Currently it's Bratislava, Nairobi, and Bangkok. So Damaris and me, we work in Nairobi. Tina and Taya are in Bangkok. And we don't have colleagues from Bratislava here today. And some years ago, the Bratislava office wasn't done there. It was Washington DC, Nairobi, Bangkok, which of course has its own challenges because our close of business was when the guys in Washington DC got up, and in Bangkok it was already in the middle of the night, so team meetings were a challenge. The unit part is about the technical part, and these are our main focuses. First of all, it's a website for information sharing and an information hub. Then to enable projects to set up their own website, manage their own website, we do website trainings. Some of you may have attended the Mastering Plone training. That's pretty much what we do too. In the beginning, we thought that would be enough. We do the training, we give them a CD with Plone and a nice skin, and they install it on their own server, and our job is pretty much done. Well, it didn't turn out that way. So we had to do the hosting as well, which we now do for 27 active projects. During the 7 years lifetime, we did about 40 project websites. And UN projects normally has a pretty short lifetime, about 4 or 5 years. And if you're lucky, you get it to a second phase, so maximum of 10 years. And after that, the website has to be archived because, yeah, nobody will pay for it. It just goes down, information is lost and gone. So we archive those websites too. Yeah, our website is an information and news hub. We collect all the news from the projects who that support RSS feeds. So we pull all the news in, have a central point of the news, what's going on in the international waters community. Document clearinghouse was very important. There are many substantial documents coming out of projects, like transboundary diagnostic analysis, which is an assessment of the water body. Strategic action plans, that is what the stakeholder countries agreed, what has to be done to improve the quality of the water body. And before IWM came along, okay, all those documents were done. They were, of course, sent to the parent agencies, say World Bank, UNDP, UNEP, FAO, and yeah, of course, in the stakeholder countries. And then those big reports got shelved, and yes, that's it. It's hard to find again. Then, yeah, as I said, UNDP does the training for evaluation of ecosystems, payment for ecosystem services, and those learning materials, of course, we disseminate too over our website. And what we are doing right now is a portfolio visualization tool where our international water projects active, which regions, where do they have their demonstration sites on the ground, and so on, but we'll get to that later in detail. Okay, that's how it started for me. A short email on the Plone developers mailing list, short-term contract with the UN in Nairobi, and yeah, just for the fun of it, I thought, oh, well, I could reply anyway. So, and I got the job. Yeah, it was not anticipated to last that long. As you can see, 6 to 12 months was the initial duration of the consultancy. So it has been a much longer time now. And that's how IWM looked like in 2001. This is, yeah, real, just a bunch of HTML files behind an Apache server. It improved in 2004 to, that's a PHP application on with a MySQL backend, and the user interface was an MS Success. So that could be only managed from one specific place. So you have no collaboration over multiple continents. So that was not sustainable with this project being split over 3 locations internationally. That was where I came in and Plone came in, and we had a couple of iterations until today, and this is how it looks today. From the content, we started out down there with 2,000 documents, events, and pages in 2005. And now we're up to 26,000 almost. So we have a steep rise. And okay, you see, for instance here, sudden spikes. That's when we introduce new products. The first spike is the subscribers for the newsletter, because there are content objects, and we got 1,000 subscribers in for the first batch. So a bit of our Google ranking. Yeah, I showed you 2004, the PHP application, and it was up for 5 years. And it has had a very bad Google ranking, about 3. After we installed Plone, it almost instantly spiked to 4 and then to 5. Just because Plone really has, out of the box, very good SEO. And then we slowly got to 6, then to 7, and then we fell down to 6 again, because we are mainly 80% of the content we are collecting comes from other websites. So we are not the only place where you can find this. And Google decided to give us a malus on that, and we fell down to 6 again. And yeah, and mainly with better internal linking and the improvement of our metadata, we got up to 7 again, which is actually pretty good for a website of such a limited audience. Okay, why did we choose open source software and Plone especially? Well, one of course is a cost aspect. In the UN, we have to do competitive bidding, so cost is, and it's easier actually to hire somebody than to buy something. Avoid dependency on vendors and vendor level for support and services, which too is very important for us, because if we bought proprietary CMS, then we won't have the freedom of, or we can't do competitive bidding. If the vendor says no, that's our source code. Only we take, only we get our fingers on it. Well, we are out. We can't do competitive bidding, which is mandatory for us. Costly upgrade and dropping versions of older software versions is was quite important for us, because we didn't do the jump from Plone 2.5 to Plone 3. Actually, we skipped Plone 3, and then from 2.5 we've gone to 4. We didn't have any problems with that. Security. Well, security is real big concern. And with Plone, we get that out of the box. We don't have to really put very much effort into it. Plone just is secure. We don't have to spend a lot of time and money on that. The open standards, okay, for web CMS, it's not so much of a concern nowadays. But, well, 7 years ago, you still found, and actually if you go through the Wayback Machine to our 2004 website, alert box will pop up that it's best viewed on Internet Explorer. And yeah, in 2005 you could still find websites who just would run on Windows with ActiveX controls. So Plone just took all those concerns away from us. Yeah, we can easily adopt the software for our own needs. We can give the software away to our stakeholders. So to the proper projects on the ground, which was one of our missions. Translations possible. We have one project in Indonesia. They were so glad that Plone is localized in Indonesian. You won't find that with most of the other CMSs. And it has a pretty fast development cycle. Not that features are added on a daily basis, but the bugs get fixed very, very fast. I remember I don't know, when I just started with Plone, that was Plone 1.02, and I had a problem with that then WYSIWYG editor EPOS. And I stumbled on a Sunday afternoon across a bug, mailed the maintainer how to reproduce the bug. 1 hour later it was fixed, and I was happy to get. What we learned, it's pretty much about how do we engage our stakeholders? How do we get them back to our website? And yeah, and how do we encourage them to share their knowledge and their documents with us? We maintain a very good events calendar where we collect events about water-related themes all around the world. Then the News Federation, we get lots of news about the water sector and from the projects together in one place, so that they don't have to subscribe to 37 feeds in the Google Reader. They just have to look at that one place and they're done. And then we push the information to Easy Newsletter. Does a great job with that, because we just can have some topics, collections. Oops. Where we get the news we have into the newsletter. So that is our news here. So great. There's something from I think it's UNEP. Then here Globalist, that comes directly from one of our projects. So that's it's pretty rich. Then for the news we can't aggregate from somewhere else. Yeah, we just have to cut and paste or to write our own. And then once a month we push our e-bulletin out. So with a short editorial, and then it really Easy Newsletter comes in handy, because we just say, okay, we want, as a stock content, we want the project news from the date of the last newsletter till today, and then we just can delete those ones we don't really need. Same for partners. What relevant documents were added in the last month, and what are the upcoming events in the next two months. postings and requests for proposals. That if you if the project puts it on their own website, well, it's hard to find. So if we collect them and disseminate them again, it reaches a much broader audience. Metadata, that's about our content editors. Always overworked, you have to put up lots of documents in a very short time. Metadata is hard to write, and it's not a very fulfilling job to write good metadata. So, okay, so the title is easy enough, you normally have that. Description, ooh, that gets hairy already. Language. Sometimes you get documents from projects that work in the Ukraine, in Russia, and in other places. So if you get a document in Cyrillic and you have no idea, now, is that Ukrainian or is, come here, is it Ukrainian or is it Russian? So we've got a little product for that too, that extracts the language with better accuracy than a human could do is without knowing what it is about. Related items is very, very powerful. Powerful feature in Plone, but first of all, with 26,000 items in the database, and if you don't really know your contract really well, it's very hard to find good related items. And the last thing are the keywords, and we haven't solved that yet. But we have some ideas, and we will be on our way, hopefully. Yeah, for the description, we use collective.ots. Everything is in the collective. So if you are interested, you can just download it. OTS stands for Open Text Summarizer, and this extracts a summary out of your content. It's not perfect, but it's a pretty good starting point, especially if you don't have the time to read the document. Where do I have this one? Okay, here I have an example. So it's a document about scientific training on rapid ecological assessment and environmental flows and biomonitoring. And yeah, it was tagged as press release in the description. So, and this is what OTS extracts from that. So it gives you, this is a good example, because it really shows you how powerful OTS is. So we have press release, what lives in our waters, experts from Armenia, Azerbaijan, and Georgia gathered to work with national and international experts to learn about the best practices to identify river system health based on the plants and animals that live in and near our waters. If you read that paper, you will see this is a pretty good summary of what is really in there. So if you have problems with your description, try that tool. It's really, really helpful. So, okay, you have, of course, to get rid of a little bit, because sometimes it's a bit too explicit, especially if the documents are very, very big. If you have a 200-page PDF, that thing will get lengthy, and you have to, but you don't have to go into the document and extract it manually. You just delete what you don't really need for the description. Okay. Drops you into the edit mode just to be sure that's really what you want. And now to get the related items. You have, well, I wanted to say, related items and the description are extracted when you create the content item. So the content editor gets the raw description, he gets the initial related items, and then he can say, okay, I'm fine with that, just get on to the next thing. Or, okay, I have to tweak this a little. But he doesn't have to start from scratch. So when we relate the items, we get a simple view of content that is similar to that content you read about. So yeah, here it's all about the Kura-Ara space. That's in Azerbaijan, Armenia, near Nagorno-Karabakh. So, and as it goes, really those other documents are mostly relevant to what you're looking at here. No, cancel this one. And now you have this, as I said before, for the SEO and your Google rank. Now you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 additional links. So you, especially for files, if you go into the file view, you normally are at an endpoint. Google can't traverse anywhere else. Now you have here 7 links internally. Google loves it. Boosts up your SEO, your page rank. Language detection. Actually, before I came up with the language detection, we had no idea how much documents in which language we had. Sometimes it was tagged correctly in the correct language, but mostly it was not. So we had 99% in English, a few in Russian, and a few in Spanish. And mostly the foreign languages were tagged as English. So now we have an Arabian, Bulgarian, well, English, of course, is the greatest bunch, Spanish, French, Croatian, 52 in Indonesian, and so on. So if you have a monolingual, I haven't tried it with Lingua Plone, maybe it works. But if you have a monolingual website where every now and then you have a document in another language. That will help your content editors to get it right. And one word of caution, if you have content that is mixed between English and Spanish, it will fall back to Catalan. I don't know why. So you have to take this with a pinch of salt. It's 95, 96, 98% accurate. But those last few percent you have to tweak manually. Related items I already talked about. The product you've seen is called collective.simserver. I'm going a bit into the technicalities. It's built on GenSim. It's a Python framework. It's pretty small. It's not a huge library like NLTK. And we can extract the semantic information from the document. It's not just the keyword count. It really tries to understand the structure of the document. Yeah, it aims at processing the raw unstructured texts, and it uses LSA and LDA. That's latent semantic analysis, latent Dirichlet allocation, or random projections if you have very few documents, and with very few, I mean only a couple of thousand. These things, only a couple of hundred. These algorithms only work really good if you have a couple of thousand documents. If you only have 300-400 documents in your website, don't bother with it. It won't give you meaningful results. But with we had started off with a corpus of 8,000, and with that it gets very good models. Yeah, it discovers semantic structure of the documents, and it's an unsupervised learning, which means you have to train your corpus once, and then you can index your documents and get the similarity out of it without having to do anything, any tagging manual. Okay, the demo we've already had. Okay, then the visualizations. We built maps on collective.geo and charts with Pygel to get this right, because it's much more easier to understand the map than to process the raw text that's in a project document. Just let me see the screencast. I wasn't quite sure about the network here. Okay, so first the events map. Each event has a location, and then you can really interact with this map. So you can see the start date. Okay. With some in there. So if you have only 2 events in that date range, it will just show you those 2. And then you, yes, normally interactive maps mean you can click on the map and something pops up. Here you can really manipulate the map. For our projects, our map gets a little more richer. I did a screencast yesterday at the hotel. It didn't have a good Wi-Fi, so it takes a little while. Ah, come on. Okay, so we have our three main areas. Those are the water basins, the countries the projects are active in, and where the project management office is actually located. So the project managers, offices are clustered, because otherwise you would just see a whole cloud of points in there. So we cluster them together. If you click on the cluster, you zoom into that cluster and get a better overview of where it is really located. The by-partnering country is to answer the question, how many projects are in that country? So a lighter color, less projects, darker color, more projects. And below the map, you will get a list of the projects who are active in that country. So, and here we answer the question, what are the water bodies those projects are concerned with? So we just said, okay, I'm not interested in large marine ecosystems, and I'm not interested in rivers. Just show me the lakes and the aquifers. So there we have Newby sandstone aquifer, and that's just down there. You actually can combine several of those layers to get together. The same query will be applied to all of the layers. Open oceans. I think I can cut this short a bit. Here, that's only the projects that are by FAO, by the Fishery and Food and Agriculture Organization. And yeah, right. Here it's a combination of countries and the water basins, and which project got cancelled. So you see here in Afghanistan, the Sistan basin in Helmand, well, got cancelled for a reason. Okay, I think that's how far this one goes. Yeah. Okay, you could see something else with those charts. We can show how the projects are doing. This is geo rating, IP rating, development objective, and implementation process. So you can see that, yeah, the project that got cancelled either got cancelled before they were implemented, or they had a very high unsatisfactory rating. That's why they got cancelled. Okay, if we search for a certain project, and we see that for a project, for each individual project, we can get some additional geographic information in there. So that are the demo and hotspot sites that PEMC has identified and is implementing. And there you can see where they are really active on the ground with demonstration projects and which hotspots are in that area. Also, it gives you a nice overview when you want to know what is that project about, which are the stakeholder countries. Okay, and yes, this will run a few more minutes, but I think I open it for questions right now, because the rest is not that exciting anymore. Questions? Yeah.
Does collective OTS, does it work for any language?
Yes. Yes, most languages. It has about 10 languages built in. So, okay, French, Spanish, most of the green languages. Russian works fine. But with Korean, no. Yes, Mika?
Can you show the event map thing again?
Yeah. It's here.
What's kind of use case for this map? What kind of people use it? Is it just that you pick a new event and want to go there next morning, or?
Yeah, to give you an overview, okay. I have a time slot in May, and I'd like to attend a conference there. Yeah. So you just right, then narrow it down to May, and you see, well, it's just two.
So then you can go visit 2 events?
Yeah. Okay. Why we did it in the first place is because for events you always have a location, so it's easy than to get a geolocation on it. For documents, it's more complicated. You have to extract it. For event, it was a low-hanging fruit what we did in the first place.
So it was easy.
Yeah. Okay, thank you very much.